Some wars in history are won with swords, and some with intelligence and strategy. Around 1,200 years before Christ, about 3,200 years ago, in front of a prosperous city of Asia Minor, Troy, the Greek armies had been stationed for 10 years. This was the same Troy which is located today in the Hisarlik region of Turkey. 10 years of war. Thousands of soldiers had already died. Achilles was dead. Hector had also been killed. Yet still, the walls of Troy stood unshaken. The Greeks had now understood this war could no longer be won by force. This war lasted from 1194 BC to 1184 BC. Such a long war was very unusual in the ancient world. The walls of Troy were not ordinary. According to legends, they were built by Poseidon and Apollo themselves, so high that even ladders proved useless. There was despair in the Greek camp. And then, one man stepped forward. Odysseus, Ulysses, king of Ithaca, known for his cunning and strategy. Odysseus said, "If we cannot break Troy from the outside, then we must bring it down from within." And from here was born the most famous strategy in history, the Trojan Horse. This was not an ordinary statue. It was a massive wooden horse, completely hollow from the inside. Hidden within it were Greece's finest chosen warriors. And this horse was built by Epius, a skilled craftsman, who had the protection of goddess Athena. The size of the horse was deliberately made unusually large. Why? Because all of this was a carefully planned move. Behind it were working 3 reasons: strategy, psychology, and religious belief. It is often said that the horse was large, so that more soldiers could hide inside. But that is not the truth. Inside were only 30 to 40 warriors. Such soldiers could have hidden in a smaller structure as well, which means the reason for its size was something else entirely. The horse was made so large that it could not pass through the gate. The Trojans would either have to break their wall or pull it inside for religious reasons. Troy weakened its own security. The Greeks deliberately left one soldier behind, Sinon. When the Trojans captured him, he said, while weeping, "Odysseus had chosen me for sacrifice to the gods, but I escaped from there." He said, "The horse has been made large on purpose, so that you cannot take it inside. If you bring it inside, Athena will be pleased and grant her blessing." The Trojans feared the gods. In the ancient world, a greater offering meant a greater blessing. The enormous size awakened both fear and greed. The Trojans thought, how could an attack be hidden inside something so huge? A large size does not appear like danger. And that illusion was exactly what the Greeks wanted. The priest Laocoön warned, "I fear the Greeks, even when they bring gifts." He struck the horse with a spear. A hollow sound came from inside. But the horse was very large. People did not take the danger seriously. The horse was a symbol of the sea god Poseidon. Troy was near the sea. And most importantly, the Trojans began to think, we are so powerful that the enemy's gift cannot possibly harm us. Pride blinded their judgment. One morning from the walls of Troy, the soldiers saw the Greek camp was empty. The ships were gone. The tents were burned. It seemed that the war had ended. In the field, only one thing remained, a massive wooden horse. The Trojans said, "Finally the Greeks have surrendered." But that was the very moment when the war quietly changed its direction. There were 2 people in Troy who had understood the truth. The first was Laocoön, who was a priest. He had warned, "I fear the Greeks, even if they bring gifts." He had even thrown a spear at the wooden horse. A hollow sound had come from inside. The second was Cassandra, a prophetess. She could clearly see that the destruction of the city was coming. but no one believed them. Laocoön and his sons were killed by serpents that came from the sea. This was taken as a sign from the gods, and Cassandra was dismissed as mad. The truth was right there, but it was not believed. Night had fallen. Inside Troy, celebrations were taking place. People were drinking wine, music was playing, and everyone was carefree. They believed that the war had finally ended. But that same night, the wooden horse quietly opened. The Greek warriors hidden inside came out one by one. Among them were Odysseus, Menelaus, Diomedes, and Neoptolemus. They opened the city gates. They sent signals to their companions. The hidden Greek ships returned again to the shore. Within a short time, the entire Greek army had entered Troy. The city that for 10 years had stood unshaken against war collapsed in a single night. King Priam was killed. Palaces and houses were burned. The entire city was destroyed. And in this way, Troy became history. What does the Trojan Horse teach us? The story of the Trojan Horse teaches us that every danger does not always appear like an enemy. Sometimes danger arrives in the form of a gift. This story also teaches that blind trust and religious faith can sometimes become the weakest link. And most importantly, wars are not won only by swords and armies. The real battle is fought inside the human mind and thought. Even today, this strategy is alive. In computers, it is called a Trojan virus. In politics, it is called a Trojan strategy. In business and life, it is seen as a hidden threat. The names have changed, but the trick is the same. Troy was not defeated by the sword. It was defeated by trust. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and stay tuned to our channel for more such videos.